Let's break down color theory. Whether you're new to art or have been doing it for years, color theory is a killer skill that will elevate anything you create. Now, to be honest, I didn't even know about it until maybe 3 months ago, but ever since, it is the foundation to practically everything I draw, and it's a huge reason why my socials have grown so much. I see color theory as the way that colors interact with each other, or the impact that using certain colors together can create. Think of it like building flavor through cooking, where you end up with a delicious taste based on the combination of a bunch of different spices. Or you can think of it like a printer that uses a combination of ink layers to print a certain color. Knowing which colors to use to add greater contrast and more intriguing visuals comes primarily from the color wheel. You can always look this up. It's really easy to search, but it's essentially a universal reference to show how colors are related. So the warm colors are on one side and the cool colors are on the other. Colors opposite to each other are complementary, and those are the ones that I use the most. Now, I'm going to break down using complementary colors to create greater depth and dimension for your art. As I said, there's warm and cool colors. The warm ones being red, orange, and yellow, the ones you might associate with high energy or fire. But cool colors, which are blue, green, and purple, are what you'd associate with calmness or water. And those characteristics translate into the art you create. So keep that in mind when pairing colors or figuring out what you want your art to say. Here, I'm laying out the difference between using complementary colors together versus just using different shades of the same color. If you want to color in red, the regular choice would be to color in different shades of red. So changing how much you press down on the pencil to have a softer color for lighter areas, or pressing harder for darker areas, and then using different shades of red to create the shadow. Or you can start with red's complementary color green as a base layer, and then color over it in the different shades of red. Yes, you still use the light and dark red, but as you can see, the shadowed area now seems to have more dimension, and it looks less flat because there's a different color working with it. For orange, you can use the different shades of light and dark orange, or you can start with a base layer of blue and then color over top using the multiple shades of orange. The end color will change depending on how dark you make the base layer, but for this, I'm making them fairly dark to clearly see the difference. For yellow, instead of coloring in light and dark shades, you can use purple as the base. For the warmer colors, red, and especially orange and yellow, I make the base layer lighter than the cool colors, just since orange and yellow don't exactly cover as well as blue or purple do. Regardless, you see the purple and yellow looks like I used orange for the shadow, but it has more dimension than if I actually just used orange. So that's why complementary colors together work really well when creating the depth and dimension. For green, again, you can use different shades with dark greens and light greens, or you can use a base of red to create more contrast. It's essentially the first combination, but flipped. For blue, you can use different shades of the color, or you can start with a base of orange and then color the light and dark blues over top. Now the top row of spheres appear more vibrant, but they also seem flat because it's closer to just one color. The bottom is darker in some areas, but has more of a gradient of colors that add depth. And finally, for purple, you can use yellow as the base layer and then color on top the shades of purple. And you can always add back more of the base layer depending on how dark you want the shadow to be or the shade you're looking for. And the same goes for any of these colors. But this is the fundamentals of how I use color theory with complementary colors. Let me know if this helps or if you want to see anything else. Thanks! and subscribe for more.